So, Linda, I forgot to ask about your experience in the Ipswich courthouse recently, which was a bit of a coup, really, for the whole cause.
I believe so, yes. It was pretty much a result that I was hoping for. And I certainly stuck it out to get the whole thing to go to trial, not for personal reasons.
Let's start with why you went to trial in the first place, because people watching this might not understand why you're in the Ipswich courthouse.
I attended a flash blockade protest not all that far away from home. Arrow Energy were drilling at Silverdale, and I'd been going out to the Kerry blockade and doing my thing out there every day, and then it was decided to do a flash protest at Silverdale just to... Arrow Energy had reneged on promises of coming out to Kerry and talking to us all, and so it was like, well, okay, we'll just do Silverdale as well as Kerry. So I stood in front of the locked gate, and when I was asked to move, I refused. And I was warned that I was going to be arrested, and I said that I understood that I would be arrested. My belief, I was actually led to believe that I was going to be charged with contravening a police direction. And after nearly 5 hours in the Ipswich watch house, I was clobbered with, under the Gas and Petroleum Act, obstructing a petroleum company without reasonable excuse. Without reasonable excuse, I ask you. Joe Bragg from the EDO commenced looking after the legals, and she had asked the police for various information and copies of permits and so on and so forth, which weren't forthcoming, and then a barrister took the case on, and he was also pushing for the information. Eventually, after 5 adjournments, I think, the magistrate at Ipswich went, this is getting ridiculous, we have to set a hearing date, and this must go ahead. These constant adjournments over this amount of time have to stop. So all up, by the time that we finally got a hearing date, it was about 6.5 months after the event. And the police had, as well as statements from the arresting officers, the police had managed to obtain a copy from the landowner at Silverdale of a permit agreement which actually related to coal, not coal seam gas, and was about 4 months out of date at the time we blockaded at Silverdale. So consequently, on the 3rd of August, the police prosecutor said that they had insufficient evidence and they were going to drop the charges. So the case was then dismissed.
So the question is, obviously the magistrate can't make a ruling on something that's not in front of him, but the question is, were they legally on that land doing what they were meant to be doing without an agreement or...
Yes, indeed, and our local newspaper, prior to going to print with an article about my court case, did give Arrow Energy the right of response. And Arrow Energy waffled on about they always make sure that things like that are in place. Not true, because in possibly 2010 or 2009, Arrow were fined, I think it was $40,000 for being illegally on somebody's property. So anyway, they sort of did. Their response to the newspaper was that they always make sure that everything's in place and so on and so forth. And then also attached 3 or 4 paragraphs relating to how wonderful Arrow Energy is and what they were all about and what they were doing. And the editor published everything that Arrow Energy had sent her. It just looks very sus. I think if I was an Arrow Energy executive, I certainly would have made a point of going, well, here it is, it's permit number such and such, and it actually did exist, but
we didn't get the evidence in on time
we didn't get
to court.
Yeah,
which they haven't done.
And of course, they still made no effort to prove that they had a permit to be on that property.
And the point being, and what a lot of the Lock the Gate is about, is you need to lock your gate because they cannot enter your land without a valid permit.
That's right.